Our philosophy behind doing paint correction prior to film is not to achieve a perfect finish, but really just to ensure that the surface is 100% prepped and clean. Sometimes film can lift, edges can peel. From our experience, doing a light paint correction prior to installing the film yields the best result in terms of the film holding down and sticking over the long term. So after the paint correction process is complete, prior to installing paint protection film, we choose to remove specific pieces of hardware for bulk installations and custom installations. On this particular vehicle, we've chosen to take off some of the bumper trim, the front emblem, and the door handles. Okay, so now we have the vehicle on our dedicated side of the shop for paint protection film and coatings. We specifically choose to use S-Tech Dyno Shield for our clear film installations for its quality, optical clarity, its yellowing resistance. It has hydrophobic properties. It's very workable film. It really fits our installation style here very well. They're a great brand ran by a bunch of great people, and we really enjoy using that product over any other paint protection film. This vehicle is getting about 90% coverage. The owner's doing everything except for the rear bumper. So we're going to be bulk installing some panels and pre-cutting other panels. I can go into detail later once we begin the installation process as to why we choose a specific installation approach for each individual panel. But basically our goal is to wrap as many edges as possible, make the film undetectable, and ultimately wear better over time than if we were to pre-cut every single panel. So I mentioned earlier how on certain panels we choose to use a bulk piece of film and hand cut versus using the plotter to pre-cut the film. Part of the reason we do that is certain panels that have a lot of stretch in them, we prefer to bulk them. It just allows us to get a cleaner installation on the actual painted surface. It allows more film to be manipulated, and ultimately it allows for full coverage. So this panel here, the mirror cover, I chose to do a bulk installation. And really the end result is that I have edge-to-edge coverage and less chance of a seam collecting dirt over time, and ultimately just a more undetectable installation. So the removal of all hardware is not necessary. This comes with experience and learning over time what needs to be taken off and what's necessary. For example here, the door handle was necessary to take off because the owner did not want to cut out around the handle. He was also concerned about having scratches and marring in the door cup here. He also wanted the entire door wrap, so the cleanest way to do that was in one piece with a bulk installation and removing the door handle. So one of the advantages to our custom installation style is we're able to wrap edges like this right here. Both the fender and the door are wrapped, and we are able to wrap around behind the panel and push it behind this gasket so that there's no exposed edge here. For the panels on this car that we did not hand cut and custom wrap, we choose to use the S-Tech USA film wrap software. We really like this software for its variability and having both standard and modified kits. For this project, we chose to use the modified wrapped kits. They're designed by installers for installers, so they take things into mind like edges having specific amounts of wrap on them. The amount of cutting that we need to do on the car once we install them is very minimal to none, and these are some of the reasons why we prefer to use this software. So I just installed the passenger side headlight using the film wrap software pre-cut. As you can see, it fit great and it was a very easy installation. They even took into consideration wrapping the top edge, which for a designer film install is essential to have that edge-to-edge coverage so that no gaps are seen. On this particular car, we use Dyno Shade, which is a product from S-Tech. It's a tinted light protection film, which provides the same impact resistance and self-healing properties as the clear Dyno Shield, but with a great aesthetic touch.